In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis and quoting the top G, Andrew Tate. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2018. Since then, I've been buying some Bitcoin every single week without fail, and I have never, ever, not once sold any. Do you understand? And Samson Mao tweeted, "We all know Bitcoin will be at $100,000 before the halving. Just go already. Send it." We'll also be discussing CryptoQuant CEO says Bitcoin is giving out 2020 cycle vibes, suggesting real Bitcoin bull market is underway. I'm also going to be sharing with you Bitcoin exchange. Bitcoin balances have dropped almost 10 billion thus far this year in 2024. Can you say supply shock? We'll also be discussing the UK court freezing roughly 6 million of euros of Craig Wright's assets amid fake Toshis. Creator claim. I'm also going to be sharing with you how big Bitcoin can reach 150,000 this year, according to hedge fund manager, as well as a 10.5 million Bitcoin price prediction from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. I'm also going to be sharing with you a 10 million Bitcoin prediction from Tom Lee of Fundstrap Global Advisors, as well as a 10 million price prediction from Michael Saylor, the one and only. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, just like this. Happy Sat Stacking Saturday. Also important, pump the thumbs up, because when you pump the like, it helps pump the stream, helping out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Today is pod episode number 1594. I'm your host, JV, and today is March 30th, 2024. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. Bitcoin back in the green, baby. Trading above 70,200. Also Ether back above 3,500. All the major alts pumping and in the green. ICP leading the pack up 6%. Trading at, what is that, $18.38. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. We're sitting on a 2.64 trillion market cap with 70 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 52.1%. Look at that Ether dominance still on the decline even after the big upgrade. It's down to 15.9%. Ouch. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got Jupe up 18%, followed by Core up 15%, followed by Ordi up 12%. Below that, we got Flare, Mantle, Gala, Sats, and the Pith Network. Now, which altcoins family are you most bullish on for this bull run? Holla in the live chat. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get more of a visual perspective on the daily. Safe to say, roughly half the market in the green, half in the red. And zooming out on the monthly, we've had a hell of a month. Many of the alts, I mean, especially these meme coins, up multiple hundreds of percent, with WIF leading the pack up 400%, Floki 300%, Pepe almost 200%, Core 100%, Bitcoin Cash 89%, Jupe 167%. Impressive gains. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 75 greed, yesterday a 79, last week a 73, and last month an 80 in extreme greed. And checking out the Bitcoin halving countdown, it's getting pretty enticing here. Only 17 days left until the Bitcoin halving. The current scheduled date is April 17th. We all know it's dependent upon the block. And right now we're on block 836,982. And when we hit 840,000, that's when the halving will occur. And checking out the time chain calendar, you can see the current what's the word I'm looking for? Conversion of $1 for how many sats you can get is 1,430. So stack sats accordingly, especially on Sat Stacking Saturday. Just saying. With the Bitcoin market cap at $1.38 trillion. Let's freaking go. Anyways, fam, let's dive into and do a little bit of Bitcoin TA, shall we? The headline here reads, Bitcoin price edges towards Q2 at 70,000 with all-time high, a key focus. That's right, Q2 right around the corner, family. Bitcoin returned to 70,000 after the March 29 daily close as traders counted down the final hours of a roaring Q1. That's right, Q1 did not disappoint, as we can see here in the Bitcoin 1-hour chart. Data from TradingView showed old all-time highs at 69,000, forming tentative Bitcoin price support into the weekend. Bitcoin gained around $1,000 in the latter part of the day, seemingly aided by comments from Fed Chairman Jay Powell. And speaking in an interview at the Macroeconomics and Monetary Policy Conference conference in San Francisco. California. Powell appeared cool on both inflation and the economic outlook. The Fed, he stressed, was not in a hurry to enact interest rate cuts, a key event for risk assets. Quoting him here, growth is strong right now. The labor market is strong right now, and inflation has been coming down. Whatever you say, brother. He also says we can and we will be careful about this decision because we can be. And June is currently the market's favored bet for the first such cut to take place, with 61% odds, as you can see here in this chart, of a 0.25% reduction at that month's meeting at the FOMC per data via the CME Group's FedWatch tool. March 29th, while the Wall Street holiday also saw the latest prints of PCE index, known to be the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, match expectations at 2.5%. And considering the hurdles for the Bitcoin price action next, attention continues to focus on the weekly, monthly, and quarterly candle closes. For popular trader and analyst Rack Capital, 69,000 was as significant as ever. A close above would mark Bitcoin's highest ever such close, and we're currently right above that, family. Quoting him here, Bitcoin is going to continue whipsawing and zigzagging within this weekly range until the weekly candle close. The weekly candle close above the all-time high of 69,000 gets Bitcoin closer to a breakout. Anything else in the meantime is consolidation. Let me know if you feel we'll close above 69,000 for the week. Now, others eyed positive on-chain signals, with fellow trader Kevin Svensson highlighting the moving average convergence divergence known as the MACD oscillator on the daily time frames. A chart uploaded to X described the MACD as positioned for a cross-up, with such an event coinciding with a potential Bitcoin price breakout on the all-time highs of 74,000. I think the local top on Coinbase at this time is $73,800. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. And reiterating what Andrew Tate had to share in a tweet yesterday, I bought my first Bitcoin in 2018. Since then, I've been buying some Bitcoin every single week without fail. And I have never, ever, not once, sold any. Do you understand? Now, I understand because he is a smart man. I also understand Bitcoin is the only unconfiscatable asset. The feds or the powers that be, the forces of evil, can take any asset away from you, any house, any vehicle, gold bars, watches, luxury items, you name it. The only thing they can't take is the Bitcoin. Why is Andrew Tate a billionaire? Because he owns Bitcoin. If he didn't, they probably would have already taken it from him. So long live the top G. And also quoting Samson Mao, 0.06 million, 0.07 million, talking about a $70,000 Bitcoin, but we all know Bitcoin will be at 0.1 million, which is 100,000 per coin before the halving. Just go already. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Jan 3's Samson Mao. But anyways, fam, pump the likes to pump the stream as we live the Bitcoin dream. And let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest from crypto analytic platform CryptoQuant. Shall we? Headline reads, CryptoQuant CEO says Bitcoin is giving out 2020 cycle vibes, suggesting real Bitcoin bull market is underway. That's right. Head of the blockchain analytics platform CryptoQuant believes that Bitcoin's current market cycle may be mirroring the prior one back in 2020, 2021. He tells his followers on X that if Bitcoin is following the price patterns of the prior cycle, the crypto king's real bull market is just kicking off. The analyst parses Bitcoin's cycle into three main phases. Number one, recovery, the bull market to the previous all-time high, and the real bull market when Bitcoin prints new all-time highs. Quoting him here from X, Bitcoin gives me the same vibe as 4 years ago. 2020, 2021 was 3,000 to 9,000, which is the recovery phase. Then 9,000 to 19,000, which was the bull market to previous all-time high. And then 20,000 to 68,000, which was the real bull market. Then 2023, 2024, he shares 15,000 to 45,000 is recovery, 45 to 68,000 bull market to previous all-time high, and 68,000 to infinity, the real bull market. The analyst also believes that the on-chain data is showing a long-time deep-pocketed investors, which are selling Bitcoin at the price hovering around the prior all-time high of roughly 69,000, but traditional finance groups are buying up the supply. Quoting him again, old whales are selling Bitcoin to the new whales, not retail investors. This can be clearly observed on-chain, as pointed out here. The analyst previously said the level of Bitcoin investment from the institutional investors is unprecedented this cycle, totaling $86 billion in the last 6 months alone. Also, CryptoQuant CEO has shared, which I covered in previous episodes, that Bitcoin's going to see a supply shock in the next 6 months because there's only 2 million Bitcoin approximately left on the exchanges. And the way that the institutions are buying up the Bitcoin, there's not going to be much left. And when we run out of Bitcoin and when we have massive demand, what happens? Numbers go up. That's what's up. And we hit these parabolic rallies, which we're all looking forward to. So you already know. But anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss what's happening right now in the exchanges, shall we? The headline reads, Bitcoin exchanges, Bitcoin balances have dropped almost 10 billion in 2024. Whoa. Yeah, that's right. Nearly 10 billion worth of biddies has left the crypto exchanges since the US spot ETFs launched on January 11th. According to Glassnode, the exchanges are down over 136,000 BTC. Bitcoin supply dynamics continue to sway in the bulls' favor as exchanges see mass withdrawals this quarter. The US spot Bitcoin ETFs have been trading for less than 3 months, but in that time, roughly 9.5 billion worth of Bitcoin has been withdrawn from major trading platforms. And as of March 28th, the exchange info tracked by Glassnode held a combined 2.3 million BTC, the lowest balance since April of 2018. The trend shows no sign of slowing. Glassnode shows that on March 27th alone, withdrawals total more than 22,000 BTC, which is 1.5 billion, the third largest daily tally of this year. As you can see here, Bitcoin balance on the exchanges brought to you by Glassnode. Meanwhile, a contributor to on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant analyzed market flows, flagging a giant transfer of stablecoin USD coin to Coinbase, the largest US crypto exchange. This, he noted, was the largest such inbound transfer in history. Quoting him here, 1.4 billion USDC just moved into Coinbase. Is strong buying pressure incoming? Now, the ETF's long-term impact on the available Bitcoin supply, and hence the price, is an increasingly hot topic amongst observers. As reported, several sources now predict that a major squeeze in supply, where demand outpaces the Bitcoin available for sale, will make itself felt within the next 6 to 12 months. ETF buying alone already represents a much larger buying force than the new Bitcoin unlocked each day by miners. And after the upcoming block subsidy halving event in roughly 3 weeks, that ratio will increase even more as the Bitcoin supply expands by just 3.125 BTC per newly mined block. Quoting Charles Edwards of Capriole Investments, the biggest halving in Bitcoin history is just days away. For the first time, Bitcoin will become harder than gold with half its supply growth rate, pent-up institutional demand via the ETFs, a programmatic supply squeeze from the halving, and Bitcoin taking the title as the world's hardest asset. There is a lot to look forward to in April. And again, April's in 2 more days, family. We got a Bitcoin halving looming right around the corner. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to take us by the time of that halving in roughly 3 weeks or less? Holla at your boy. Anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. We discussed the supply shock coming. Now let's discuss the latest with Craig Wright. His assets just recently got frozen from the UK court. That's right. Check this out. A United Kingdom court sanctioned the freezing of 6 million euros, which is 7.6 million USD, in Craig Wright's assets to prevent him from evading court expenses tied to his assertion of being Satoshi Nakamoto, the Bitcoin network's creator. The decision was made after Wright transferred some of his assets outside the UK court after a court verdict debunking his claim to be Nakamoto. And according to the UK court doc, this prompted him to shift shares of his London firm RCJBR Holding to a Singaporean entity March 18th. Judge James Mellor wrote in the document, quoting the judge here, understandably, that gave rise to serious concerns on Copa's part that Dr. Wright was implementing measures to seek to evade the costs and consequences of his loss at trial. Now, the judge endorsed the worldwide freezing order. The Crypto Open Patent Alliance, which is COPA, requested to address COPA's total court expenses amounting to, good Lord, almost 8.5 million USD. COPA was founded in 2020 to encourage the adoption and advancement of crypto tech and to remove patents as the barrier to growth and innovation. Its 33 members include Coinbase, Block, Meta, MicroStrategy, Kraken, Paradigm, Uniswap, and WorldCoin. Wright, an Australian computer scientist, aka fake Toshi, leverage claims of being Satoshi, to file copyright assertions concerning the Bitcoin network. For instance, he demanded 2 websites remove the Bitcoin white paper in January 2021. What balls this guy had, right? In April 2021, Copa filed a lawsuit against Wright, contesting his assertions of being Satoshi and thereby processing copyright to Bitcoin. Following testimonies from early Bitcoin developers like Marty Malim, and judge concluded March 14th of this year that the evidence overwhelmingly suggests Wright is not Nakamoto. And in the words of Nate Diaz,
"You just shook up the world. How's that feel?" Hey, I'm not surprised, mother.
I don't think anyone's surprised, right? In 2023, the Wright sued 13 Bitcoin Core developers and a group of companies, including Blockstream, Coinbase, and Block, for copyright violations relating to the Bitcoin white paper, its file format and database rights to the Bitcoin blockchain. What a douche. He sued 13 Bitcoin Core developers. Man, show this guy no mercy. Just saying. The Bitcoin Legal Defense Fund responded to the lawsuit, highlighting the trend of abusive lawsuits against prominent Bitcoin contributors, deterring development due to the associated time, stress, expenses, and legal risks. Wright filed the U.S. copyright registration for the Bitcoin white paper and the code within it in 2019. The Bitcoin white paper is now subject to an MIT open source license, allowing anyone to reuse and modify the code for any purpose. A court injunction would prevent Wright from further copyright claims on it. So there you have it. That's the latest with fake Toshi. So them freezing roughly whatever they said, $7.5 million US. He probably has access to a whole lot more money than that. So it's probably just a slap on the wrist. I think it's a disgrace that he was able to do all that and create all these unlawful lawsuits against Bitcoin Core developers and all these companies and try to get the copyright on Bitcoin so no one can use the code. Just shenanigans as far as I'm concerned. Barack Monfils Evangelista, greatly appreciate the super with the Bitcoin Orange, respect family, and happy Easter. But let's continue on with the show, shall we? We discussed the latest with fake Toshi paying those fines, $7.5 million, getting his assets frozen. But now let's discuss this $150,000 target. And then I'm going to be sharing with you 3 predictions, all of 10 million or higher. From Max Keiser, we have Michael Saylor, plus an additional bonus 10 million Bitcoin price prediction from Thomas Lee. So you already know. Then we'll dive into our live Q&A. But this headline here reads, here's how Bitcoin can reach 150,000 this year, according to the hedge fund manager. That's right. Let's break it down. We're talking about Morgan Creek Capital's Mark Yusko, by the way. When speaking to CNBC's Fast Money, Yusko highlighted Bitcoin's benefits over other cryptos, but also its merits when compared to gold. Quoting him here from the interview, Bitcoin is the king. It is the dominant token. It is a better form of gold. And quoting Max Keiser, gold is the poor man's Bitcoin. So in Yusko's opinion, the spot Bitcoin ETF in the States, which saw the light of the day in January 11th to be the official date of the launch, are the primary factors behind Bitcoin's yearly rise. Indeed, the financial products have seen massive demand from the investors, as the net inflows for the first 2.5 months of trading have been nothing short of impressive. However, the hedge fund manager believes there is still more room for growth for BTC, especially given the upcoming halving scheduled to take place in roughly 17 days. Quoting him here, the big move happens post-halving. Preach! It starts to become more parabolic towards the end of the year, and historically, about 9 months after the halving, so sometime towards Thanksgiving or Christmas, we can see the peak in price before the next bear market. So looking at the broader scale, he predicts Bitcoin could increase its price against the dollar by 10x over the next decade. This would mean that one Bitcoin could be worth somewhere around $700,000 per coin. Send it. Yusko is not the only prominent individual who has forecasted 150,000 price tag for Bitcoin this year. Fundstrat's Tom Lee was amongst those, indicating the asset could more than double its value from the current position in 2024 due to its appeal for millennials and Gen Z. And interestingly, Standard Chartered, the British multinational banking giant and the primary shareholder of Standard Chartered, is none other than the largest asset manager in the world, BlackRock. And they say Bitcoin's most vocal critics also shared a similar prediction for the asset. In a recent report, the bank's analysts increased their previous forecast by 50% and said Bitcoin could tap 150 G's in 2024 and $250,000 by the end of the year. Let me know if you agree. Can we see a $250,000 Bitcoin price action before the end of 2024? Holla. Anyways, fam, now for our feature story of the day. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 $10 million Bitcoin price predictions, one from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, one from the Giga Chad himself, Michael Saylor, and one from Fundstrat's Thomas Lee. Let's go. Let's start first and foremost with Max Keiser, who tweeted this just the other day. You can see the timestamp, 4:58 a.m., March 28th, already got 127,000 views. Here's what Max wrote. This neatly describes the speculative attack that Mike Saylor and Bukele are making against the US dollar and all fiat money using Bitcoin that moves $300 trillion of purchasing power into Bitcoin. That's a 150x move from here, from 70,000 an example to 10.5 million per BTC. So there is a loophole clearly Saylor and Bukele have discovered for being able to continue to purchase Bitcoin and borrow for virtually 0.6 to 0.8% interest rates. Is virtually printing money out of thin air and just buying Bitcoin, which is a speculative attack against the central banking cartels. And the good news, other companies, including, you know what I mean, S&P 500 companies, as well as nation states, they can follow this blueprint and get in on the action and help us send this price to 10.5 million. Let's freaking go. Now for another prediction. Max also shared in an interview that the total global amount of financial instruments on planet Earth is roughly 400 trillion. So Bitcoin would capture a percentage of that. We're talking 1 to 2 million per Bitcoin, just with a small percentage, family. And another prediction, Bitcoin price reached 10 million in 25 years, as per Fundstrat's Thomas Lee. And then the Giga Chad, 10 million per Bitcoin. He actually shared this more recently at an event in Australia at a convention. So let's actually dive into this one here next. I'm going to just quote the Saylor. And when it's 6 million a coin, there's going to be a bunch of people really angry at themselves that they didn't buy it at $1 million per coin. Damn straight. Now let's, another quote. Bitcoin is like Manhattan. Cyberspace is 21 million city blocks in a cyber Manhattan. And one day, 8 billion people want to live there because everybody in the world, all 8 billion people in the world want to be wealthy. Preach. And quoting him again. So if you think about it like that, we are going to double and we're going to double again and we're going to double again and double again. And the coin is going to continue to progress to $1 million per coin, 2 million per coin, 5 billion per coin, $10 million per Bitcoin. Preach. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And by what year can you realistically see a $10 million Bitcoin price? Holla at your boy. Now for analysts over at Fundstrat, you know Tom Lee. He's been very bullish on Bitcoin as well. Tom Lee's reasoning here, and full disclosure, this clip is from 2018, so this is a throwback. It's played out to a T thus far. Austin Arnold explained in the video. Shout out to what's these guys' names right here? Altcoin Daily. I think that's the largest crypto YouTube channel, by the way. But quoting them here, millennials are going to soon have 1 trillion of savings flow, Lee said in the clip. If millennials put just 10% of their savings flow, which is 100 million, into crypto, that's 2.5 trillion rise per year. So we think that you may end up seeing Bitcoin by the end of the cycle as high as $10 million per Bitcoin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with some of this bullishness. And now I just want to have a discussion with you here on a 10 million Bitcoin price action. Also, massive shout out to Samson Mao, CEO of Jan3. He's still projecting a 100,000 Bitcoin price before the halving in the next 3 weeks, and also projecting $1 million per coin this year in 2024. Quick shout out to C-List. I greatly appreciate that super. JV, please update us on your special lady friend. You know that's top secret, family, but stick around. But yeah, man, back to the price action. Anything is possible in Bitcoin, and here's why. Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. And there is one thing I can guarantee you. I can't guarantee you what the price will be by what date, but I can guarantee you the purchasing power of the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to continue to decrease, just as it has been doing each and every year. Whereas the purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase. So the dollar will decrease, Bitcoin will increase in purchasing power. That's all you need to know. So ultimately, in layman's terms, use Bitcoin as a savings. Do not save in dollars. People who save in dollars and treat fiat currency as a store of value, according to Michael Saylor, we call them poor, right? Because people with money know better. They put their money in assets. assets that appreciate, things like real estate, things like precious metals, Bitcoin, etc. But Bitcoin clearly superior to everything else, as I mentioned earlier in the show. Andrew Tate has been buying Bitcoin every week without fail. Why is that? It's the only asset they can't confiscate from him. He knows from firsthand experience the evil of the world, that they can take anything they want from you just because you say something they don't agree with. Kanye West knows the same. What'd they do to Ye? They froze all of his accounts. They took all his deals because he started speaking out the truth, right? So we need to protect ourselves. Bitcoin, according to Cathie Wood, is a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against deflation. It's an insurance policy. As we all know, it's incorruptible. It's perfect money. It's pristine collateral. It has everything working for it. It can do everything that gold does, but more. So why would investors continue to stick with gold? Yes, granted, gold just broke out, hit a new all-time high, $2,200 plus per ounce. Hallelujah. Congratulations, gold bugs. But Bitcoin's been up insane percentage. There hasn't been another asset in human history that has appreciated the way Bitcoin has been appreciating, right? I recall 2022, weren't we down to 15,000 per Bitcoin? Well, 15, 30, 45. We're already more than 4x. That's 400% increase in less than a couple of years. And Bitcoin's not slowing down anytime soon. I can see Bitcoin doing another 150x from here. I can see Bitcoin going to $10.5 million per coin. Can I guarantee it? No. I can't guarantee I'll have an episode tomorrow. I can't guarantee I'll wake up in the morning. We can't guarantee anything in life because there's a lot of uncertainty. But like I said, we can guarantee you Bitcoin will continue eating away everything else because it is the apex motherfucking predator and it's not to be messed with. That's why Bitcoin is un-F-wittable. Can you feel me? Nipsey knows it's true. You know it's true. That's why you're here right now. Bitcoin to the moon where no man has ever gone before. Just saying, nobody can stop Bitcoin. If the government can stop it, they would have stopped it at least a decade ago. There's a reason Ross Ulbright is serving 2 life sentences for creating the first free open market for Bitcoin trading back when it was only 50 cents per coin, because the government recognizes it as a threat and they're trying to set an example. Meanwhile, Bankman-Fried scams investors out of $10 billion and only gets a 25-year sentence. Where's the justice system at? What's going on with that? So we all know Bitcoin decapitates the head from the central banks. Bitcoin is a direct threat to the central banking cartels. Bitcoin cannot be stopped. It's un-F-wittable. It's unconfiscatable. It's incorruptible. Biden or none of these mofo politicians can change that. And that's what makes it so great. It's perfect money, family. So start saving in perfect money. Stop saving in fiat, because at the end of the day, fiat in the bank is a melting ice cube. What good is a melting ice cube? Just saying. But anyways, let me know if you agree or disagree. When are we going to hit $10 million per coin? Holla. There you go. My rant is over. I appreciate it, family. Drop me some comments. Let me know if you agree, disagree. I'm open to all different alternative viewpoints, perspectives, opinions. That's what makes America great, right?